What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be exploring some of the reasons why you may not want to move to the Raleigh area. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our first one. And it's a big one for some folks, and that is that there's no public transportation here. All right, so when I say there's no public transportation, I don't mean none, right? Of course, we have public transportation here in the Raleigh area. It's just not as much as a major city like a Boston, where they have the subway, or New York City with the subway. Most people are going to spend much of their time getting from Raleigh to Apex to Cary to any of these places in the car. We jokingly say that here in the Raleigh area, if you want to go somewhere, it's going to take you a 15 to 20 minute drive. And quite frankly, you can get anywhere in the Raleigh area, usually in 15 to 20 minutes. So it's a quick and easy commute. But the fact of the matter is that there's really no public transportation that the majority of people are going to hop onto. Now, the city of Raleigh is trying to fix this with their bus rapid transit program. They're just starting construction on that, and that's going to be a major shift in the area. So it'll be interesting to see how often and if that actually does get used. It's a major project for the city of Raleigh and for our entire region. We've had other discussions about light rail in the area, etc. And honestly, nothing's ever panned out. It either financially doesn't make sense, or they just can't figure out how to physically make the best use of it. And so for those reasons, I just don't know if we're gonna see an adoption of public transportation here in the Raleigh area for many, many years to come. So if you're an avid user of public transportation in the city that you live in, and you're thinking that you're gonna find public transportation here in the Raleigh area, the fact of the matter is that you are not, and you're more than likely gonna have to have a car to get wherever you wanna go. All right, so the next major issue for those considering the Raleigh area is that we really only have one major sports team here in the Raleigh area, and that's the Carolina Hurricanes. So it's NHL, it's hockey. If you're not into hockey, then we really don't have a major professional team here in the area. Now, in Charlotte, which is about 2.5 hours away, we have the Carolina Panthers and the Charlotte Hornets. Now, what most people don't talk about or understand is that here in the Triangle area, college sports is all that really matters. We have NC State, UNC Chapel Hill, and Duke University. And when you move here, you have to pick one of those. You can't just choose any of them. You have to pick one and be extremely loyal to them. There is talk that we might get another team here in the Triangle area. There's a lot of talk about potentially getting a Major League Baseball team in the next 5 to 10 years, but none of that is solidified. And there's also talk of other cities like Nashville and Austin trying to get that Major League Baseball team. So it'll be interesting to see if we're able to get another professional sports team. But if you live in a major city where there is one already or multiple, then moving to the Raleigh area might have some disappointment for you because, again, all we have is the Carolina Hurricanes. Otherwise, if you're going to a football game, you're more than likely going to a college football game. But I will say, nothing beats college football in the South. All right, so third up on our list is the weather. And mainly what I'm talking about now is the humidity. So during the dog days of summer, like we just got through in July, you can expect to basically be sweating the entire day. Our temperatures are usually really, really high, and then we have extremely high humidity, which leads to just miserable days getting in and out of the car or doing something outside with your family. So that is definitely a downfall. But then you also end up with days like today where you get fake fall in the middle of August and you get a beautiful 75-degree day. Now, I will say one of the other major benefits to our weather is that we actually have 4 seasons. So you do get a true summer, a true fall, true winter, and a true spring. But we also have hurricanes. In fact, just a couple of weeks ago, we had a tropical storm move through the area where schools were shut down for the day. But again, it's not something that we're dealing with on a regular basis. And when they do come through, it's usually just a lot of rain and wind, though we've had some powerful ones over the years that have caused major damage. But if you're hesitant about living in an area where hurricanes do exist, this may not be the right spot for you. But if you're looking for somewhere that has 4 seasons, this is a great spot to consider. Just be prepared for those days in summer where you're going to be sweating the entire day. All right, on top of the weather, come springtime, you are going to deal with something major that is a huge adjustment for people who move here, and that is pollen. Here in the Raleigh area, come spring, pollen just takes over everyone's car, their driveway, their house, their clothes, their allergies. It takes over everything. Pollen is a huge factor here in the Triangle area. And when it gets to March and April and pollen season is really into full swing, cars are generally covered in pollen. You can go to any car wash in the area. I guarantee you that is their busiest time of the year because people will go through once a day just trying to get the yellow stickiness off of their car. Now, it is a major factor for folks with allergies. It can cause a lot of sneezing, a lot of itchy eyes and stuff like that, especially if you're not used to it. If you just moved to the area, this is a major adjustment for folks. So again, if allergies are an issue for you, do be prepared that you're going to have to deal with a major kind of, I would say, 6-week season of a huge pollen time. So do be prepared for that. All right, so the final one on our list probably comes as no surprise, but Raleigh's not a big city. And what I mean by this is if you live in New York City or Chicago or Boston, where there's a ton of hustle and bustle, everyone's just getting after it at all times of the day, right? Doesn't matter when it is, but there's always busy streets. That's just not the case here in the Raleigh area. Raleigh's a much smaller city with a much slower pace of life. So if you're thinking that you're going to move here and have something to do from 6 a.m. to 2 o'clock in the morning, that's just not the case. There's less activities to do than there is in a major city. Like we talked about, there's not even a pro basketball team or a pro football team here. All we have is pro hockey. And so just those kinds of things alone kind of lend itself to this kind of slower pace of life. Now, to me, that's a major benefit, but for some folks, that's not exactly what they're looking for. We jokingly say that here in Cary, if you're driving on Cary Parkway after 10 o'clock, the Cary police are gonna pull you over and basically say, what are you doing? It's past 10 o'clock. What are you doing driving? No one drives in Cary past 10 o'clock. Again, a little bit of a joke, but it's kind of true of the area that not much is gonna go on well into the evening. There are some hot spots for younger folks in the area, but not many places that you're going to see on a consistent basis where there's just tons of activities at all times. We hope you enjoyed this video and understood some of the reasons why you might not want to consider the Raleigh area. For me, I see all of these things as a positive, except for maybe the pollen time. I don't love pollen season, but it is something that we deal with. But I do think we have great weather. I think we have great sports, but I understand it's not a major city. And I hope we explained some of the reasons why you might want to consider not moving to the Raleigh area. But if these reasons were compelling to you and maybe you are considering moving to the Raleigh area, reach out to us. We would love to help you get started and love to help you find the right part of town that will fit your lifestyle. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.